So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm actually going to talk you through what I'm using and also the products that I'm using as well. So the first thing to do when you're doing a bold lip is lip liner. And for me, I like to use lip liner first of all because I like to kind of trace the lip and understand that kind of shape first before I go in with my bold color. And the one thing that I also like to mention to newer artists specifically, or people or students that are training, is that if you feel like your lip product is going, or your lip application is going to be the hardest, do that first as opposed to your eyes or your base. What I like to do first is my eyes, or the client's eyes, because I know that I'm such a perfectionist and I like to do eyes and get those perfect and blended, and I'll do that first before I go in and do anything else, because I can just smash out a base or smash out a lip. If it's a bold lip, I do the bold lip first and then I go in with the eyes and then the base. So really think about what you are going to take longer doing and then do that. So if you feel like when you're doing a bold lip, you need to do lip first, do that. So lip liner, I'm going to start off with a liner from NARS. Now this is the color I'm going to use. So just let me know whether you can see that. So that's the color there, and that is the color. So can we all see that? Hopefully we can see that. Can we see that? Awesome. So it's a deep color. I do have another one here which I use quite a bit when I'm doing red, which is the one next to it. But today I want to try the darker color. So one thing to think about is when you're doing lip liner is you've got to be able to direct the client, because a lot of the time, and I get this with mature women, they do this, you know, they do and you're like, just relax your lip, right? So I just like to just get them to press like this together. And then if I'm going in the inner corner here, I want them to open their mouth a little bit and then smile like that, so I can get right into the inner corner there. This is really important when you're doing a lip for photography, because you want it to be sharp, and the less time the photographer has in editing, especially there, the better it is for them. So I'm going to go in now with lip liner. And I usually start where the Cupid's bow is. Just so I can get that kind of line there. Now another thing is, the best thing to do with lip liner is if you're really shaky, get a powder puff and lean on the powder puff and do it that way, or use the side instead of the tip. So you can see how I've opened my mouth and I've gone like right in there. Now I'm going to go to the bottom. The good thing about makeup is, if you stuff it up, you can fix it. It's not permanent. You know, I see a lot of people, they're just really scared to put a bold lip on, but the thing is, you can easily fix it, right?
Do you prefer rounded Cupid's bow or more sharper Cupid's bow?
Oh, okay. So who was that question from?
Makeup for Bodhi.
Ah, hey Bodhi. Okay, so that really depends on the lip shape. So if the lip shape is rounded, go with the round lip shape, right? So go with the client's lip shape. If you've got a little bit of a Cupid's bow like me, work with the Cupid's bow, okay? With makeup for photography especially, you can do whatever you want to do. You can make a round, you can make a pointed, depending on the concept of it. If it's for bridal or event work, follow the natural Cupid's bow. If it's for a shoot, whatnot, and the concept is sharp and the model's got rounded Cupid's bow, make it a sharp, alter it, right? So it really depends on what you're working with. So I hope that makes sense. Now, sometimes the client does feel like an idiot because they're going like this and moving, but you've got to be able to direct them. All right, and I usually like to fill my lips in with that color as well. So next what we're going to do is I'm going to go in with a lip product. Now, I'm going to show you how to do it with the lip brush, because most of you that are on Facebook and Instagram are probably going to do it for their clients. So I'm going to show you how to do it with the lip brush, and then I'm going to talk you through how to do it on your own if you're planning to do it on your own. The color that I'm going to use is Smashbox, and it's called Made in a Matte. And it's this color here. So it's a bit of a deeper color. I'm just going to take a little bit of that off. Now I'm going to show you a little trick here, because I like to cut a lot of corners when it comes to shoots, because I don't have a lot of time most of the time. So I like to kind of just do everything at the one time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this Smashbox lip gloss and I'm going to mix it in with that lipstick to create a bit more of a color. I'll just show you what it looks like before I mix it together so you can see what the difference is with the lipstick and the gloss. So that's the gloss there. Can you see that? Can everyone see that? And then that's the lipstick. So the gloss is a little bit deeper than the lipstick, but I'm going to mix that in now. Now I'll probably want a lot more color, but I'm going to just stick with that first of all. Now, brushes. I know in your kits, I know for a fact that when you study, you get those like old school pointed ones, and I hate those. I can't stand those in there. So what I usually suggest, go out and grab one of these lip brushes. So they're the straight ones. This is a Ray Morris one. I absolutely love this one because it's got the magnet on the end so you can pop it up. Obviously I can't do that now because I'm unable to display brushes because of COVID and whatnot. But you've got your magnetic stands, and I know Ray, she's got the covers for the brushes at the moment. So something to look at. Yeah, I don't like using the smaller brushes anymore because I find that it doesn't get into the smaller areas here. So I'm going to use a brush. Now for myself, I don't usually use a brush if I'm going to be applying lipstick on myself. For a client, yes, obviously, because it's for hygiene, but if it's for me, no, I just go straight in with the lipstick. All right, so what I love about these is you can actually press it down and then move it around. So I'm just going to show you now. And I'm just going to do that top bit first. So you can see that. Now, don't sit there, because I've seen this happen many times, don't sit there and try to perfect it, keep perfecting it. Just trace the color onto the lip, and then when you've got that color placement on your lip, then you can go back and trace over it and make it perfect. Oh God, I love this color. And you can see as well is I've opened my mouth a little bit like that, and I'm going into the inner corner there. Do you have any questions?
Bodhi's getting excited.
Ah, please tell me. I love when people get excited.
Pointed brushes are the shit.
Yeah, man.
Would you recommend her brushes?
Yes. And I don't have any affiliation with Ray Morris. I don't. I love her brushes. I got introduced to her brushes when I did her workshop in 2016, and I fell in love with them. And these are her older brushes. So she's got the newer Japanese brushes, the ones that came out a couple of years ago or a year ago. But these ones are the older ones. But I do love these because, you know, they've lasted me, you know, since 2016. But yeah, I do love her brushes.
What's a good lip palette?
Ah, okay. Okay, two things that you need to think about a lip palette. One, has it got a mix? Has it got a mix of matte, shimmers, sheens, glosses? Because whenever you're out on a shoot, you don't want to be carrying a whole bag of different lipsticks or different glosses in there. If you've got a palette, or you can depot those lipsticks into jars, which I've done, make sure that you've got a variety. So you've got like a sheen lipstick, you've got a glossy lipstick, you've got a matte lipstick, because you never know what you're going to need to pick up, right? Lip palettes that I recommend, Smashbox have got some great lipsticks. I know that they've got lip palettes, but I don't know if they have them in Australia. I've seen them on the American website. Who else has got great lip palettes? I know Too Faced have some lip palettes. But what you can do is, and I've done this as well, is I've accumulated so many lipsticks, is I've just gone and depotted them. I went to like a jewelry store, not a jewelry store, craft store, and I got the little jars that you can put your beads in. And there was like 24 of those little pots, and I literally just depotted all my lipsticks. So now I've got like that whole tray there full of like the different lipsticks. And that's probably the best thing to do. I think lip palettes, like from different brands, they're very hard because they're either limited edition or you know, they've only got like 6 of their kind of favorite lipsticks in there. So I think, you know, if you want to go down the road of getting an actual bullet, like the one that I showed you from Smashbox, you can do that and then just depot them, because there's so many like accessories like that out there that you can do. Lipstick wise, I love Smashbox. I love using Smashbox. Model Rock is my other favorite lip to matte product because it stays on. Probably not the best for photographic concepts, but really good if you're doing any kind of bridal or event work. But I find with photographic work, you can go and use like a glossy textured lipstick, because the model's only going to be wearing it for an hour or so, so it doesn't really matter. But I hope that answers your question. Those are kind of the lip products I do love. There is another lip product I do absolutely adore, and it's called Me Cosmetics. Now, a friend of mine, she was an ex-student of mine as well, and she's a supplier for Me Cosmetics here. And I've got some of her lip glosses, and she's got amazing lipsticks. I loved her lipsticks when I worked with her at Beauty Expo. She's a beautiful, beautiful range. So check those guys out. It's MII Cosmetics, and they're a supplier here. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, Bodhi, on that. Okay, so now I've done the application, I'm going to go in and kind of sharpen it up more. Actually don't mind this colour.